Hello everyone, I hope that you're all doing well. So today we are going to start the industry and infrastructure chapter of economic survey 2020 to 2021. So what we are going to do in this particular videos from now onwards, so we are going to read the economic survey through the economic survey book only, so that a lot of students have told me how to interpret the lines and so how you are making out the what various information from the economic survey. So in order to impart that skills to the students how to read the economic survey volume 1 volume 2, so I'm directly discussing the PDF. Okay, and I will be mentioning that economic survey page 1 page 2, like that we will continue, and in that way we will try to finish our economic survey. I hope that this is all clear to you. This is me, Sayyid Shudatullah. Let us go ahead. Right. So industry and infrastructure chapter. Okay. This chapter is chapter number 8 we are going to discuss, that is volume 2. Volume 2. So you all know that economic survey has two volume, volume 1 and volume 2. Volume 1 is majorly with respect to philosophical aspects. It talks about the quality of economy, what is important for the economy, okay, scope of development, opportunities, so and so forth. Okay, so majorly it is a visionary document, you can say. Volume 2 is the actual gives us the performance of economy in the last year. In the last year. Okay, fine. So there is no erase all button I can find here. That's why it takes some time to run the document. So let us go ahead. So remember what Albert Einstein has said us, that in the midst of every crisis there is always lies a great opportunity. Okay. See, this is how you are going to interpret the thoughts of the philosophers or the great scientists, who whatsoever. So here what we have to understand is the developed countries, as you all know that they are mostly majorly they are the ones who got severely affected because of what COVID-19. And developing countries have taken a lot of measures, and in a way they are like safe. Because why we are saying that? Because pandemic. Okay, economic survey, the volume 2, the first chapter. Okay, it means that economic survey, the first video of mine, I have discussed about the effect of pandemic on the global economy. In that I have clearly told you, and it is mentioned in the economic survey, that it is the advanced economies who are badly affected because of COVID. Okay, when they are badly affected, you can understand that their economy was halted for a long period of time than us, right? They have suffered severe losses with respect to that. Their production activities might have got halted to a larger extent, and their supplies has been so supplies has been decreased domestically, and also they are not in a position to export also. So here comes the opportunity to us. So the advanced economies who are having lots of economic share worldwide with regard to their exports and with regard to the production of goods and services, anyhow they are severely affected. So we, the country like India, Brazil, South Africa, they have got some opportunity here to supply the same goods and services not only to them, to those countries who are actually getting the supplies from developed nations, right? So we got a huge opportunity in order to boost our economy. So this is how you are going to interpret a particular a quote of a great scientist or great philosophers, whoever are. Okay, so this is how I have interpreted. So the chapter start with a always with a gist of the total what they are going to discuss. Okay, so every first page of the economic survey talks about the gist of the total. What I say is the chapter itself. So 44 pages are there, you can see, and this one page is enough. Okay, the one page is enough to understand the crux of the rest 44 pages. Got it? Right. Let us go ahead. See here, the Indian economy encountered a once in a century crisis. It means we have not experienced such a economic crisis, such a economic slowdown, such economic crisis, such economic slowdown during the last 100 years. This was the first time that we have experienced. And why is it so? Because of COVID-19. Okay, pandemic. It affected the economic activities, not only this, but also our livelihood activities of the billions of people. Okay, economic activities you can understand mainly related to what production, agriculture production you say, industrial production you say, service sector production you say. So these are what economic activities. Not only this, even distribution is a economic activity. Trade means whatever you do on the Amazon and Flipkart, that is called as what? Trading. That is online you do. If you do in the physical space, that is also called as trading. Okay, trading is nothing but buying and selling. Okay, transportation, all of these are a part of what? Economic activities, and majorly these three: agriculture production, industrial production, and service sector production. So this all these production activities, or you can say the economic activities, not only these are affected, but also livelihood means the activity that we take up for our survival, such activity is called as livelihood activity. Okay, जीने के लिए whatever the activities we choose, such activities are called as livelihood activities. So you are well aware of this fact. Many of your parents, okay, who are working as teachers, okay, they have been not paid, right or not? Okay, and they are not finding any other livelihood opportunity to sustain their family. This is also you are very much clear. Maybe your parents are there, maybe your brothers, sisters, maybe any of your acquaintances. From them you may know that many of the sectors were badly hit, and somebody who is working in tourism also, they were also badly hit, right or wrong? Because all of these activities were banned, were not allowed. Okay, some are banned, and education related means education institutions, many of the institutions has been closed, and the people who are dependent on that particular organizations for their livelihood, they are also not getting any sort of income, right? So the survey says that the pandemic has not only affected the economic activities, but also affected the livelihood of billions of people, because we are a billion country. Not only us, lots of other people across the world has also been affected. Okay, and they lost their jobs also. And industrial sector, as we are discussing, does it had an impact because of pandemic? Yes. The industrial sector is no exception, my dear. It also got a lot of shocks means production is not happening, supply of raw material is not there, laborers are not coming to work, so they are also experience what? Shocks. That's why, because of these factors, the industrial sector has also shown sharp decline to the period of what? Lockdown means their production decreased. Okay, this is what is talked about in the economic survey with regard to the lockdown, etc. But the survey went on to say, okay, when the unlocking process began, when slowly the restrictions with respect to production, manufacturing, with respect to our movement, with respect to our transportation, okay, airways, and slowly what happened? Unlock 1, unlock 2, these kind of measures were taken by the government, and whenever there was relaxation of restrictions, the Indian economy has started rising. So that is what it has said. The economic activity, however, started recovering as the unlocking process began. And the various subcomponent of index of industrial production. So nothing but index, in the book, also in any textbook you will be having index gives you the topics to be read, right or wrong. In the same way, index of industries means the names of the industries will be written here. Okay, like coal industry, iron and steel industry, what happened to cement industry, fertilizers, oil refinery, electricity, so on and so forth. So this is called index of industries. Okay, industries, these are various kinds of industries. So what happened to their production during the pandemic, and which one of the following has decreased most, which one of the following was resilient to the pandemic. All that is being discussed in this particular document. Okay, so index of industrial production will give lot of insights with regard to the economic growth rate, industrial growth rate. Okay, specifically if I say you, it is a industrial growth rate. So if these, okay, coal is there. Why do we use coal? Coal is to generate electricity, to generate power, to generate energy. This power is used in industries to run what machines. If coal consumption is more, if coal consumption is more, okay, before 100 units of coal, 100 kgs of coal was burned, okay, 10 markers were produced. Let's suppose the consumption of coal is 200 kg. Automatically can you infer, like instead of 10 markers there might be a production of 20 markers or not? Yes, very rightly said. Okay, so the consumption of these, okay, the consumption of these increases, automatically what you can infer from that, or what you can conclude from that is there is an increase in the industrial output. There is an increase in the industrial output. So that is what the survey is also saying. The various subcomponents of index of industrial production in 8 core industries which are very very important. Like if I say you the coal, cement, crude oil, fertilizers, steel, okay, electricity, oil refinery. Okay, so we are having these industries, whatever I have told you, they are called as what? Core, means very very important. Core means these are very very important. Just like in our whenever we go for functions, so we will invite the very close relatives, no, which we cannot leave them. Okay, that's why the core industries are those industries, if they perform well, all other industries will perform more. Okay, like steel, iron and steel is there. If this production increases, automatically iron and steel is used for the manufacturing purpose, like automobile purpose, for the construction purpose, right or wrong? Okay, so core industries are those industries that will, or that are considered as a backbone of rest of the industries. Means the rest of the industries are actually dependent on these 8 industries. Okay, like agriculture sector, it is heavily dependent on what? Fertilizers. Like textile industry, heavily dependent on what? Power sector, energy sector, right? If machines are not running, then how can the textile production happens, right? So that's why the electricity is one of the core industry. With the help of electricity, a lot of machines will run. Okay, I guess that you have got this concept very clear. Okay, so the index of industrial production and the 8 core industries have experienced a V-shaped recovery. Okay, with consistent movement being seen towards the pre-crisis level. देखो, very important word, pre-crisis level. Okay, it will become very clumsy. I'll just rub this all off. Okay, just wait for a second. I don't have the option of erase all, which I used to do in my previous classes. I'm very unlucky that if I open a PDF, okay, if I open a PDF and I don't have that opportunity, or you can say that liberty to do erase all. Fine, right. So फिर भी काम करेंगे. Pre-crisis level. So you know that March 25th was the lockdown was imposed. Means March 25th before. This is where the crisis began. Pre-crisis level means before that how our economy was performing. So because of unlocking process, our economy is going and restoring the same position what we had in the pre-crisis level. That is what it is said here. Okay, it means you can understand this way. Okay, so this is a normal economy, like 5% growth rate of economy, whatever it is, 5% GDP growth rate. Okay, fine. So this is GDP, means you can expect this is the growth rate. This is growth rate. Okay, so 5% we are having here. 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%, 7%, 8%. Okay, 5% is a GDP growth. This is normally I am saying that this is straight line. Anyhow that will not be the true case always, but I am just trying to say you that this is a, like every time we are having a average growth rate of 5%. But because of, like, this is January, this is, you can expect these are months. What are these? These are months, you can assume in that way. January, February, March. Okay, so happily we are growing at 5%, 5%, 5%. But what happened in the March? Our economy decreased or not? Our economy decreased or not? Yes, sir. Our economy decreased. Okay, why? Because we have imposed a lockdown. Then we are having unlock process began. No, our economy is slowly rising now. Yes. So we are again back to our here also 5%, here also 5%, right or wrong? So this is what pre-crisis level. This is what pre-crisis. This is post-crisis, right or wrong? Yes. This is pre-crisis 5% growth rate was there, and in the post crisis we are having what 5% growth rate. So you can expect that we have restored our previous position of growth rate or not. Yes, sir. Yes, you are true. Got it. This is how you are going to interpret things. Okay, through the economic survey, a very beautiful document, economic survey. If people who have got a lot of time, they can do wonders in their mains and in their optional papers if they are thorough with the economic survey. So their concepts will be clear like hell. Okay, right. The broad base means from all the sector. Again, a very important terminology. Broad base, just like in taxation, you know that taxation we call it as direct taxes is narrow base. Why? Because the number of people paying the direct taxes are very less. Though we are having 100 crore population is there, no, only 20 crore are, okay, only 100 crore population is there, only 20 crore are paying the taxes. This much they are not paying, okay. This is called as narrow base, means this much population is there but only less number of people are paying. Broad base means, okay, means we have this much number of population is paying the taxes. So why I am correlating means it is very important that where you come across these terminologies. Okay, here also the broad base means across all the sectors of industries, the broad base quick revival of industrial activities, okay, because of various remedial measures taken by the government and reforms introduced by the government, the sizable, okay, financial stimulus given by the government of India under the Atmanirbhar package, we are seeing what recovery in industrial sector too. Okay, based on index of industrial production, that is IIP, and industrial activity contracted by 1.9% in November 2020. I mean, 3 months back, contracted by 1.9%. Like suppose GDP is 100 rupees. 100 rupees. Let's suppose 100%, right or wrong? 100 rupees. Let's suppose 100%. Contracted means what? GDP decreased. How much to 1.9%? 1.9% means what? It is 98.1 or not? 98.1 rupees contracted. It means what? 98 means contraction is 98.1% contraction. The difference between that will be 1.9%. 1.9%. I hope you got this. If not, that you can mail me, you can WhatsApp me, you can ask me in the comment section. I will be more happy to help you out, please. And one more request is you just see again this particular whatever the calculation is there, so you'll understand it. Okay, 2 to 3 times you see, because always I tell to all the students that it is very important that you should read economy 3 to 4 times, then only you can understand. At one go it is very hardly it goes into your mind, but when you go on reading it, no, it just become a cakewalk. And the economic optional subject is the most easiest subjects of all optionals. If anybody tells you, no, why you have taken economic optional, it's very hard, you say that yours is only hard. Okay, you take economic optional, yours is only hard, you say. Okay, because it has got a lot of benefits. I'll make a video on how economic optional will be useful in UPSC and state PSCs later. Okay, चलो, तो कॉन्ट्रैक्शन के बारे में मैं बोल दिया, 1.9% कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. Okay, so and this contraction was very better. Actually, we have decreased to minus 57.3%. Minus 57.3% in April. Okay, January, February, March, April में 50% decrease हो गया था. Okay, 50% GDP decreased. Now it June, July, August, September, October, November, it like 2% contracted. But here in April, so the peak period where the economy has contracted the most is April. Okay, minus 5.3%. Further, improvement and firming up in industrial activities are foreseen. आगे बहुत अच्छा करता है ये सेक्टर. We have foreseen, we have forecasted, we have estimated, with the government enhancing capital expenditure, okay, as highlighted in the fiscal policy. Means government has given a push to what various infrastructure projects, okay, requires lot of capital for long period of time. Such a investment is called as capital expenditure. Okay, when something is in long run, okay, something is in long run, then we call it as capital expenditure. Okay, the vaccination drive and the resolute push, okay, on long pending reform measures also began. It is pertinent to point out that reforms undertaken in our country are probably one of the most comprehensive among the major economies of the world. Comprehensive means whatever the reforms were introduced by Mrs. Sitaraman, our Honorable Finance Minister. These reforms are considered as most comprehensive, which means it covers the total sectors. And try to give push even to the cottage industries, even to the small scale industries, even to the large scale industries. Every industry is being covered here. Okay. So I hope that you got this lecture today. So I'll continue my lecture tomorrow. Thanks a lot, and please keep watching and share this video. Thanks.